The sun was setting over the quiet town of Glenwood, casting a warm orange glow over the small houses and wide empty streets. It was the kind of town where everyone knew everyone else, and nothing much ever seemed to happen. In this peaceful setting lived a young boy named Liam. He was 12 years old with tousled brown hair and eyes that seemed to always be searching for something more than the mundane world around him. Liam wasn't like most of the other children his age. While they were content playing sports or hanging out at the park, Liam often found himself lost in his thoughts, wondering what lay beyond the boundaries of his small town. He dreamed of adventures, of discovering something big, something that could change his life. Though Liam had a kind heart, he often felt like he didn't fit in. His classmates would tease him for being different, for asking too many questions and not caring about the same things they did. But deep inside, Liam knew there was something more to him. He just couldn't quite figure out what it was. One day, while exploring the woods behind his house, Liam stumbled upon a strange old book buried beneath a pile of leaves. It looked ancient, its cover worn and faded with age. Curious, he brushed the dirt off and opened the book to find it filled with stories of bravery, of people discovering their inner strength and overcoming incredible odds. Little did he know, this book would be the key to unlocking a strength within himself that he never imagined existed. Liam couldn't stop thinking about the mysterious book he had found in the woods. Every page he turned seemed to hold a new lesson, a new piece of wisdom about finding strength within oneself. The stories of heroes who overcame their fears, doubts, and weaknesses inspired him deeply, but they also left him with a lingering question. Why did he feel so weak when it came to his own life? At school, things weren't improving. Liam's classmates still mocked him for being different, and even his best friend Ben seemed to be growing distant. Ben had started hanging out with the more popular kids, leaving Liam feeling even more isolated. The teasing had gotten worse lately, and now they weren't just making fun of him for being the odd one out. They were picking on him for his love of books, calling him a nerd, and even making fun of his dreams of something bigger. Liam's frustration grew with each passing day. He began questioning his worth, wondering if there was something wrong with him for not fitting in. The more he thought about it, the more the book began to seem like a distant fantasy. What was the point of all these stories, he thought? Who was he to think he could be anything like the heroes in those books? But then, one afternoon, Liam overheard a conversation between his parents. They didn't know he was in the room, and he stayed as quiet as a mouse, trying not to be noticed. His father, usually the quiet and stoic figure in their home, was speaking with his mother in a worried tone. "Liam's not the same," his father said. "I don't know what's going on with him, but something's not right. He's shutting himself off, and I don't know how to help him." His mother, always more in tune with Liam's feelings, sighed deeply. "He's struggling, James. He wants to prove something to himself, and he doesn't know how. We have to give him space. But also, we need to show him that he doesn't have to go through this alone." Liam felt a wave of emotion crash over him. So they noticed, he thought. But it didn't make him feel better. In fact, it made him feel more alone. It was like everyone around him was starting to see what he couldn't even admit to himself. He was struggling, but he didn't know how to fix it. The following days were tough for Liam. His internal struggle grew, as did the distance between him and everyone else. But something had changed. The words from the book echoed in his mind, urging him to rise. But how? How could he unlock this hidden strength when everything around him seemed to be falling apart? One day, during a routine walk in the woods, Liam found himself back at the spot where he had discovered the mysterious book. The place now felt different, almost sacred. He sat down by the old oak tree, his legs crossed beneath him, and opened the book once again. But this time it felt different. The words didn't just speak to him. They called to him, as if they knew what he was struggling with, and now it was time to take action. He began to read aloud. "In every heart there lies a fire that can't be extinguished no matter the storm. But to find it, you must first face the storm within yourself." Liam felt a sudden wave of emotion as the words hit him like a bolt of lightning. Face the storm within himself? That was it. That was the challenge. He had been running from his fears, running from his insecurities. But now, he knew what he had to do. The next day at school, Liam walked into the cafeteria with a different kind of resolve. The usual group of bullies was there, mocking the quiet kids as they always did. But this time, Liam didn't shrink away. Instead, he walked straight up to them, his heart pounding in his chest but his feet moving with a confidence he had never known. "Hey," he said, his voice steady but firm. "I'm not afraid of you anymore. You don't get to decide who I am. I'm not just a bookworm or a nerd, I'm more than that." As weeks passed, Liam continued to change. No longer the shy, uncertain boy who once hid behind the pages of books, he became more confident in his own skin. The book had shown him something profound. True strength wasn't about physical power or winning every battle. It was about believing in yourself even when the world seemed to tell you otherwise. At school, things weren't perfect. The teasing still happened from time to time, but Liam didn't let it break him anymore. He had learned to stand up for himself, not with anger, but with the quiet confidence that came from knowing his worth. His teachers noticed his transformation, and even Ben, his best friend, started coming around again. Liam had stopped trying to fit in and started being true to himself. And that's when the people who mattered most began to see the real Liam. But it wasn't just about how others saw him. It was about how he saw himself. Liam realized that his greatest strength wasn't in how he could fight back or how popular he could become. His strength came from his ability to choose who he wanted to be and to rise above the challenges he faced. One afternoon, Liam returned to the woods where everything had begun. Sitting by the old oak tree, he reflected on everything that had changed since he found the book. The lessons from the pages had become part of him, guiding him through each new challenge. As the sun began to set once more, casting a golden hue over the landscape, Liam smiled. He wasn't just a boy anymore. He was someone who had discovered the strength within himself, the strength to rise above doubt, to face his fears, and to become the person he was always meant to be. The journey wasn't over, but he knew that whatever came next, he would be ready. Because he had learned that true strength was not something to be found outside of himself, but something that had always been within him, waiting to be discovered.